A lot of students don't enjoy maths very much, and it's not hard to see why. The topics are lengthy, the textbooks are massive, and let's be real, some teachers aren't very good at actually teaching. It's so bad that some students can go a whole school year without knowing anything that was taught in math the whole school year. But wait, somehow, in all of this, some students in a class still manage to get amazing grades in math every year. I'm talking A's every term, even with the hard topics. You probably look at them and wonder how you can be like them, right? Well, you're just in luck. In today's video, I'm going to share the methods you can use when studying math to understand the topics better and get higher grades almost overnight. This video is going to have 4 parts: understanding, self-study, practice, and memorization. If you follow all the steps, you'll find that studying math can be fulfilling and actually lead to better grades in the subject. First, you'll need a math study notebook and a pen. You're only allowed to use this notebook to study maths, nothing else. You'll also need your math textbook, so you can get enough practice questions to study with. Let's get into it. Understanding. First, understand what the math topic is about. In the textbook, find out the definition of the topic and write it down. Also, write down the formulas used in solving questions under the topic. It might seem a little confusing right now, but trust me, it's all going to make sense later. After taking note of the formulas in the topic, it's time to study the solved examples. Most textbooks will have a page at the beginning of the chapter that explains how to solve problems in that topic. So read the examples for that topic, work through them, and try to understand them as much as possible. Done? Now it's time for practice. Go down to the exercise section of the chapter. You'll find a bunch of unsolved questions that are just like the ones in the example section. Use the steps used in the examples to solve the practice questions. Since you're literally looking at the solution to the answers right in front of you, this should be super easy. But if you still can't figure it out yourself, you can add an extra step, which is self-study. For this part, you're basically looking up extra information about the topic and using it to teach yourself outside the classroom. You can go on Google to look up explanations posted by other people on the topic, or go on YouTube to find videos that explain how to solve a particular problem. Watch the videos and follow along in your notebook so you don't miss a single step. Sometimes you'll have to watch multiple videos from multiple creators to understand all there is to know about a topic, but it'll be so worth it in the end. When you better understand the formula, go back to the exercise section of the textbook and do more practice questions to test your knowledge. Try to solve at least 10 questions without looking at the answers to confirm that you actually know it pretty well. If you go through this step properly, you'll notice that in math, lots of the questions are actually similar to the other. In fact, you'll probably be able to guess the answer to some questions without solving it out on paper. You'll also find that some of them are harder than the others and take twice as much time to solve, but don't feel discouraged when you run into those. Just take your time and eventually you'll figure it out. To be honest, answering practice questions should take the most time in your study sessions, because math is all about being able to exercise your brain and figure out all the possible ways a formula works. For example, if you spend 2 hours in a math study session, use 30 minutes to figure out the definitions and example questions, 30 minutes to look up extra information on the topic, and an entire hour on solving questions without looking at the answers. You might not actually spend 2 hours studying every single time because some topics are easier than others. When you're done with all that, it's time for memorization. In math, it's not enough to know how to work with formulas. You have to have the formulas to each kind of question memorized in your head. This is important because in exams, your teacher isn't just going to set questions based on one type of formula, they're going to set a bunch. And in exams, there's nothing worse than seeing a question you remember studying at home but can't answer in the hall. This is how you're going to do it. At the back of your study notes, make a list of all the formulas and theorems you use in solving a specific topic during every study session. Update the list every time you start a new chapter or topic in the math textbook. At the end of the term, you should have a few pages that are basically a summary of all you were taught in maths in the term. 1 week to your math exam, start memorizing the formulas. Use the blurting method for this. Recite the formula you're trying to remember while looking at the notebook, then close the page and try to write it out again, but this time without looking at the page. Repeat this over and over until you can successfully write down all the formulas you were taught in the term with full confidence. Honestly, it's as simple as that. If you know the formulas and know how to apply said formulas into any question you get on your tests and exams, you'll be more than good to go. Now go out there and crush those grades. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.